Good morning, West in the world. It is Thursday, November the 5th, and this morning we had our final lecture before next Tuesday's second exam for this course. So I wanted to make one last review video to help you gather your thoughts on the lectures we've had this week, centered especially around themes of nationalism and the growth of imperialism in the 19th century. On Tuesday, we discussed Marxism and nationalism, which we organized under the idea that these two ideologies represent very opposing answers to the question, what will community look like? How will it be organized in this new post-industrial world, where traditional modes of identity and community formation had really faded dramatically out of existence? Marxism, of course, answered that question along economic lines. It said that community and identity should be rooted in the shared interests of economic classes. And so Marx and Engels are calling for the workers of the world to unite because their shared common interests are their most important reality. So we talked a lot about the dialectic and how that all sort of plays itself out. Nationalism, on the other hand, answers that question by saying that community, identity, will now be rooted in the nation and in the demonstrated greatness of the nation. And on both Tuesday and today in class, we talked a lot about the manifestations of nationalism as it flows out into Europe's relationship with the world at large, because we said that nationalism has at its root this commitment to demonstrating the greatness of the nation in three very important, very distinctive ways. Number one, by building a dynamic economy. Secondly, by winning victories on the field of battle. And thirdly, by expanding the territory under the control of the state. Under that logic, it is obvious that one of the most ready answers is the wave of imperialism and the conquest of other states, the subjugation of other peoples under European rule, that reaches its crescendo at the end of the 19th and the beginning of the 20th century. The French example was one that we gave a fair amount of attention to, in particular how the French, after their defeat in the Franco-Prussian War, then decide to sort of compensate for the loss of Alsace and Lorraine by moving out into the world and building their empire, beginning in West Africa. We talked on Tuesday about the Marchand expedition as an example of that. Today we also widened out that lens and said that it's not just nationalist rivalry that feeds the wave of new imperialism, but also, of course, ideologies like social Darwinism, which says to Europeans that they can do this because they are somehow naturally superior to other peoples of the world. And then we talked about the civilizing mission, or the white man's burden, as this moral imperative that says that Europeans must do this because it is their duty, it is their responsibility. We talked also then about sort of the technological advantages that make this possible out of an industrial transformation, and of course about the economic motivations, the desire to build this, the access to raw materials, the places where you can sell your manufactured goods. And we used a series of those advertisements to kind of drive home the point that this consciousness of imperialism becomes embedded in all facets of Western society as people interact with these ideas and the use of the images of flags and ships and people to sort of communicate the greatness of Western civilization and its triumph over other peoples in the world. We saw also, of course, how deeply steeped all of this is in a racialized view of the world that becomes the long-lasting legacy of this period as we move into the 20th century. Those are things we'll be delving into after the exam. So thanks, everybody. Good luck with your exam prep. See you on Tuesday.